What did you bring for dictatorship?
Well, what I brought.
What's going on, Robert?
I
Tell me and the audience what we're about to talk about with Dictators.
Well, with Dictators.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw it, dude. Oh my God.
No,
dude.
seriously. What's going on? Are we talking Dictator today?
We are going to talk Dictators.
Affirmations.
I'm thankful for Steve Buscemi.
I'm thankful that I don't live in some sort of futuristic dictatorship like in Rick and Morty.
I'm thankful that Steve Buscemi has not decided to become a dictatorship.
I'm thankful that even disposable face razors last more than one time.
I'm thankful for the first time I ejaculated, I had the image of Steve Buscemi in my head. I don't really love to confess that too much, but there you go, Steve. You got Buscemi'd.
Affirmations.
Yeah, I brought some really real weird
Talking
facts,
about dictators. It's a soulful song. Talking about dictators. Talking about dictators. All right, tell me about the dictators, dude.
All right. Well, I've brought some fun facts for us.
He's got some facts.
I don't know. There's a few fellas that I find really interesting, like Turkmenistan. That's a real wild
dude,
place.
Turkmenistan.
Yeah, dude.
Let's get into it. There's famous brand name dictators, right? Like everyone uses Hitler as an example. Kim Jong-il's one of the more modern ones. Putin's obviously come into the scene in the past, since he started getting Ukrainian.
Yeah.
And then, but that's all we really talk about. It's kind of like dinosaurs, but there's all these other prehistoric animals and eras for millions of years, and no one really talks about them unless they're really diving deep.
Yeah.
I feel like you're about to do that with Turkmenistanian.
Oh, dude, totally. Yeah.
Which just sounds like the last name of my Armenian landlord in Glendale. Mr. Turkmenistanian, thank you for fixing our air conditioning so fast. We love you.
Oh man.
Right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, let's raise an eyebrow right now.
Raise one brow.
Raise one brow for our brothers.
Two guys, one brow. Bro, it's great. They're playing at the Galleria. Go. Tell me about your dictators.
Well, all right, man. So there's some really bizarre shit with Turkmenistan.
Okay.
This is just some facts, and I thought it'd be fun
it hard to talk about?
And it is, dude, because bizarre presidential decrees are abundance here. Former president.
What did that mean?
Well,
bizarre presidential decrees is when they when they make a new rule, right?
Right.
So these are bizarre.
These are very bizarre. How bizarre, to quote.
How bizarre.
Very bizarre decrees that this Turkmenistan dictator asked of people. But
okay, let's hear it.
Former president Bernimudu Kafhamedov.
Oh, dude, I would get publicly lashed just for mispronouncing his name, wouldn't I?
I don't know. I think I'm Polish, and you're Eastern European too in there.
I'm a mutt, man, Jew mutt.
We're all mutts.
You know how Jew mutts are?
But we're close enough to be
just
able
like comedians, we've been run out of every town. They were canceling us before the internet. It was tough to be a Jew. Not anymore. Now it's great.
Oh, I love that show at Disney.
What is it?
Tough to be a Jew.
At Disney?
Yeah, tough to be a bug.
Oh, is that
Bug's Life?
Tough to be a Jew?
Well, they have the Jew bugs.
Oh, God. God.
Super
Walt,
racist.
please tell me that you loved us. It would hurt my soul to think he really didn't like us. He looked like such a Jew, too. He had a big old nose. He's a business owner. I mean, what the fuck, man? How come it's always self-hating Jews, right? They're the biggest Nazis. Didn't Hitler have Jews in his family? Wasn't it one of his grandparents Jewish? And all this stuff. And you're like, is that how awful we are as Jews? That we're I hate my mom. We got to kill all of them. You know what I mean?
Dude, I don't know.
Which I love my mom. I criticize her, but I wouldn't. It wouldn't change my views on the Jews. Views on the
Mailback to Views on the Jews.
Right.
What's up, guys?
Coming soon to the Paramount app or whatever. Paramount app. Views on the Jews.
Paramount Plus,
starring Whoopi Goldberg and Stinowitz. Not the one you're used to on the other Views.
Man, John, it is beautiful though to be here and to see the Road Dog shirts.
Dude, this is so exciting.
Yeah, guys,
we got Road Dog shirts.
We're stoked. I feel like this is the real start of the pod right now. It's because we're here together and we're going to talk all about some really fun stuff. Last time we had alluded to dictators, John.
Yes.
And that is not just a venereal disease. That is also a problem in the world.
Oh, dude, is that a callback to our last episode?
Yeah.
Dictators. I had tater tots this morning, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, dude.
Yummies, dude.
It was great, dude. But except for just every bite, I kept thinking, did these come off of some giant dude's dick.
I mean,
That's so gross. That's a fucking gross way to start the
Schmegma?
episode.
Oh, man.
Dude. Schmegma that's crunchy. But if it tasted like tater tots, what if like your favorite foods came from the weirdest like Rick and Morty style things? And you're like, is that how they stamped that out?
gosh.
Like a cheeseburger was shit out by like a giant rhino with like a barfing bloody face. And you're like, that's how cheeseburgers are made?
I hate to break it to you, but McDonald's has definitely practiced
God, don't
some
talk
experimental food gathering sources.
I've
dude.
never slowed down on my chicken finger consumption, even after the pink sludge. All right, tell me about these dictators, bro.
Well, guys,
Tell
look,
me about dictators. Tell me about dictators. Tell me about dictators. All right, go on.
All right, everybody. Look, Turkmenistan is a very bizarre place. They've
I
had
believe
a
you.
dictator for a long time. This is some of the decree, the rules that the former bizarre presidential fella, forgive me for butchering this, Berdi Muk Hamadov.
Berdi Muk, Hamadov, Berdi Muk.
So he banned black and colored cars, leading citizens.
Ooh, you scared me for a second. I was like, don't they don't allow hip hop in that country?
I mean,
Who's playing basketball over there? Nothing. I'm just sorry.
the Ball brothers. No, one of them is the middle brother.
Is he really?
They were playing in Lithuania a while ago.
That's so different than a fascist dictatorship. Lithuania is pretty chill, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if they're really. Was it the Lithuanians? I don't know if you heard about Lithuanians were pretty bad. They were also not fans of the Jewish people during World War II.
I mean, yeah. If we're gonna, okay, now you're going to dictator World War II stuff. Yes, but let's separate governments from people and
Right,
culture.
right.
Like, there's some evil people come in power sometimes because the general population gets duped into crazy, silly stuff. But we're not. It's like when people say, like, "Oh, you're German, you must hate Jews." Like, my wife's German. She loves Jews.
Yeah, well, there's a lot
Look
of
at her.
German Jews.
She makes love to Jews. Just one, hopefully. Okay, go on. Go on with your dictation.
Okay, here it is. Dictation. So he had everybody get rid of black and colored cars. Like they would have to all be white, his favorite color.
Yeah, that's
And then
like the most boring color for a car, too.
yeah.
That's like he live in the suburbs of SoCal?
Yeah, yes.
Oh, another white Ford Raptor, white F-350, white Camry. Like, yeah, dude. Like,
Yeah,
that's
these
all
are white
people drive
cars.
white cars. That's like it's like the safest color.
Yeah.
Just get a white car, honey.
Well, I feel like you can get dirtier, right? White like leads to like you could just. I remember I'd wear white Chucks, white Converse.
Yeah.
And I remember I thought they were so cool. I'm like, oh, these get fucked up.
I
fast.
love white shoes, and they do get fucked up fast. But I don't mind a dirty shoe if it's like just like scuffy, dirty, but it's still comfy or it's broken in. I am like addicted to like off white, but white, like cream color.
Yeah,
I love parchment.
John is shoeish. I'm here all day, guys.
Wow, folks.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, man.
Did you do that on Don't Tell Comedy? Okay, seriously,
All right,
though.
don't ask, don't tell. dog.
Don't ask,
Okay.
don't fucking tell.
Which I don't know if they practice here. I think they have don't ask, kill. Okay, his predecessor, Nizarvav, issued various eccentric mandates, including renaming days, months, and bread after his mom.
Oh my God, dude. That's fucking just even liking your mom that much to rename stuff after is fucking weird.
Yeah, Bertha.
How do you end up a dictator, but you love your mom? Like, you would think like, isn't like a dictator's mom like the mom on Despicable Me, where you're like, oh, what a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a lot. I mean, dating back to the Romans, all that. A lot of strange, like man boy. What do you call it? Man child.
Yeah, what is it called? No, there's another Oedipus.
Oedipus Rex.
Oedipus.
Yeah. Dude,
Why do I think it's Oedipus?
I mean, saying puss makes it fun. But dude,
Oh, the puss. The puss is so good.
Oh, the puss over there.
oh my
Oh,
God.
the puss. Whose puss? My mom's puss. Like, oh, God. You're like, what? What? Oh, fucking, I'm going to run this country and change everything.
Sometimes you got to go back home, John. That's what
Like,
we
what if
call
the
it.
dictator's like, dude, moms are where it's at. You're like, yeah, dude, MILFs are pretty hot. They're like, no, like your own mom. You're like, ah. And he's like, everyone fuck their mom or you're all being beheaded. You're like, God, I hate dictators. God damn it. Like,
I know it's weird because it's the cult of personality. So you have to basically like do everything that guy likes.
yeah, Napoleon
It's like-
complex. You're like, okay, act short.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
he's going to feel like a dick.
You know what's funny is he was like average height, but they just like to shit on him. He was like not
Napoleon?
really that short.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the next episode of Two Guys Explaining Dictators very slowly and sloppily.
Well, I was listening to this podcast on dictators that was real fascinating, and a lot of the times I think sometimes they have good intentions, and then they get roped up in the power.
That's actually the lyric of one of my favorite country songs. It's sometimes dictators have good intentions, but then they get roped up in the power.
Well, like
Sometimes they got good intentions, but then those dictators get roped up in the power.
well,
It's not really a song, but it could be.
oh man, check it out.
Don't
dude.
you go stealing that song from us. Well, if you do, if you could just like give us writing credit for it and just so we could get some residual checks.
What's that dude that blew up on the internet with the red hair last year that like talked about taxes?
It was like William Montgomery, I think.
Yeah, you can cover that song. Yeah, we'll
you
donate it
talking
to
about the
him.
other guy that's got
he's
the long
like-
beard and
yeah.
he's just like, man in Virginia. And he's talking about the guys in Washington or whatever. Yeah, that guy did blow up. Dude.
Yeah, and he did one song. He needs.
I think
another
he's still
song.
out there doing his thing, dude.
Probably.
There's like,
yeah.
if you're a topical, it's like South Park or Chris Rock. Like you're gonna have endless material if you're constantly like, they did what? And
It's all
you're like,
flying cars. It's all really topical.
it's in the future.
forever. Yeah.
the nanobots inside my heart might have saved me from a heart attack, but they cost a lot and I won't get that money back.
That
I got a
money
couple
back.
Bitcoin, got a couple Bitcoin. I'm in a hover car with my Bitcoin. But those sons of bitches in Virginia, them theys are running this country into the ground, even though we're floating up in the sky like the Jetsons.
I love it, dude.
That's so stupid. What was his name? It was like,
William Montgomery. Let's just
Hey,
go
we're
with
just leaving it with
yeah,
that,
yeah,
dude?
Yeah, because I mean, he's performed as a comedy mothership.
whoa, yeah. So
he
he's
did.
already in the future, dog.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
get back to Dictators, or I'm ending this podcast right meow.
Well, all right.
You like how
So
I did that from Super Troopers? Meow, right meow? All right, go on.
Turkmenistan has a lot of fun facts. So this is all. We're right now we're talking about Turkmenistan because to me it's extremely fascinating because you don't hear about it as much as the others.
Yeah, to me it's extremely fascinating too. Don't
Yeah.
just try to steal who's extremely fascinated here.
Well, look, let me get extremely fascinated.
Are you an extremalist?
I think so.
You fucking bitch. I think so. Go on.
No, I'm a fence sitter.
Where's your nipple sit on the Angelo head? Right there?
Right there. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
In August of 2023, tens of thousands of professionals, school children were forced to pick cotton in extreme heat under government mandates.
This is in 2000 what?
23 in Turkmenistan.
Wow, dude.
Workers faced humiliation and job loss if they didn't meet cotton quotas, reflecting a Stalinist return. under
Turkmenistan's going to have like a new
leadership.
version of Roots in like 20 more years. 2040, it's Roots Turkmenistan.
Yeah, it's
Nothing on
pretty-
that? LeVar Burton's like, that is not funny.
Yeah, no, I was scared to riff, dude.
You're scared to rip. That's a great name for our podcast.
Scared to riff.
Scared to riff.
You guys scared to riff?
You always get scared to riff. You look over at me and be like, no, let's not say that. I'm like, well, dude, it's a podcast. We're being real.
True.
It's called authenticity. It's a new game show called Scared to Riff. It's a Japanese game show where you get like killed if you fucking if you say the wrong riff. Dude, you have to kill yourself. Scared to riff.
I shouldn't have riffed on Jelly Roll again.
Yeah, coming to Netflix this fall. Scared to riff.
Dude, was it Scared Straight?
Scared
Remember that?
Straight.
Where they
dude.
try to scare the kids?
Dude, I remember when they scared me gay.
Yeah. Oh man. Well,
Please, mister.
Let's see if there's any getting scared, being too scared to be gay.
Have we
in
said
here.
anything about Turkmenistan, or
A
we
little
just
bit.
riffed the whole
It's
time?
really fun though. So Turkmenistan is one of the last true totalitarian states, with secret police using torture against political opponents.
dude, fuck.
The country ranks as one of the worst in the world for freedom, below nations like North Korea.
It's below North Korea.
Just a little bit.
Do you think Kim Jong-un like heard that and he's like, we've got to tighten our security up and be a little bit more iron fisty?
Well, you know what's weird is I feel like North Korea sounds almost better than this because at least he likes basketball.
In North Korea? Oh, yeah, because he's friends with Dennis.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. How do you cumulatively like add up who's a more of a Nazi?
No,
you know what I mean?
totally
Like this guy will behead you if you like run a stop sign once. This guy won't behead you until you run a stop sign twice.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you even like add up the points for that?
No, I know there really isn't. I mean, I'm just obviously joking because it seems like extremely brutal to live in any of these, but
Especially with technology. It's like, do they have cameras in their house? Like, you didn't worship at 3 p.m. And you're like, oh my God.
well, it's weird because you think about all the freedoms we got here, and you hear about surveillance here.
Yeah.
Imagine there. They probably do have like fucking toilet cams everywhere, making sure you're worshiping the mom and remembering.
Put in an application though for toilet cam, like what do they call it? Analyst?
Yeah,
You're just like
an analyst
sitting there like at a big like computer station, like looking at like toilet cams, like, all right. I don't know what you would judge about. Like,
Well, Chuck Berry would be there.
is he a?
He used to film people in his restaurants.
Did he really?
Yeah, he had a restaurant and he put a camera in the shitter.
That's such a funny like fetish to be like. That's
Yeah.
when people are taking dumps, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care how hot you are, whatever, you're in guys, girls, or whatever. You're just like, people are taking dumps, bro. What is this freaking German porn? Am I right?
Yeah. Johnny B. Poop.
Johnny B. Poop. Oh, that's it. Maybelline, why can't you use 2-ply? Oh, Maybelline, why can't you use 2-ply? I've been seeing your finger sticking through that hole.
I love that song. Maybelline, great one. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Do you think he ever like comes down from the office like, you didn't wash your hands, dear? And I saw what happened in there. They're like, how? Like, never mind, just wash your hands.
Dude, I mean, I probably did. It did like Turkmenistan probably definitely paid attention to people pooping. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Berry. And
Turkmenistan is a very scary place.
yeah, it's in.
We've come to that.
It's in Asia, like Euro-Asia. It's weird. It's like, it's a part of the world that's really fascinating to me because there's like white Muslim people like they're in that part of the world, and it's strange because they look like a mix of like Asian and Europe. It's like
So the chicks are gorgeous. They're living under
beautiful
fascism.
people. Yeah,
The guys have funny hats. I'm just listing
Yeah.
off stuff that you could just assume by all of
Dude,
this.
yes,
Because if you're Euro-Asian and Islam is the biggest religion in the world, so you've got like probably some sort of Muslim tribes, right? You got isn't the Uyghurs?
yeah.
They're up in China. They're like aren't they a Euro-Asian tribe or are they an Asian tribe?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm
Well, they
not
wear funny
exactly
hats
sure.
too.
Yeah.
And they're I can just visualize them, and they're out there freaking living under a fascist dictatorship. I wonder what the hell that's like. God,
Yeah.
are they allowed to worship their way in their version of Islam, or do they have to adopt? Where they basically like told like, no, you're doing it the way the president. You know those presidents where they like dress with like a suit, and you're like,
yeah.
like they always have like a Men's Warehouse outfit on, and you're like, oh, you're a dictator. Like it's so weird. I would just wear this if I was a dictator.
I know, right?
I'm like I wear what I fucking want, dog.
I'm the dictator.
I'm the dictator, dude.
You'd be a very chill dictator, John.
I would, dude. I would just be like, there's probably gonna be a lot of sex. We're gonna try to clean up the environment. I think that would be the one argument I could have with my wife where I'd be like, let me just get laid like outside, like let me have a couple orgies.
I could see you going for like being cool about it. Like, who wants to actually fuck me?
But
you know what I mean, I don't think you'd be like, all right, you have to fuck me. I could see you just being more realistic. Like, look, who wants to bone me?
Like I would put an ad out, like you'd see
Yeah,
billboards,
yeah.
and be like, that's our dictator. And I'd just be like, I'm pretty horny and hungry.
But
if anyone
you
wants to get
believe in,
sushi and then fuck a couple times.
But you believe in consent, and you want someone.
Oh yeah, dude. And I'd be like, do you actually like me, or do you just like it because I'm a dictator?
Dude, like Genghis Khan, that whole thing about people say that like a lot of the population's related to him.
Yeah, he's like 1 in 6 people has his genetics.
Yeah, all the time, dude.
I mean, it's crazy that he was still like a warrior too. You'd think like because he was like pillaging and being an awful guy, right? Wasn't he? I would think if you were getting laid all the time, you'd just be like chill.
Yeah,
I'm so much more relaxed when I get laid. I thought I thought it was the incels that were going around shooting everybody up.
You're right. I always think that like a blowjob machine would help all these dictators. If they just kept,
It doesn't.
Because aren't you like the most clear? Like maybe like the right after you splooge?
You would think so. And the same thing with like weed. People always say like, dude, that guy just needs to get stoned. And it's like, I know a couple like fucking violent, awful bros that smoke a lot of weed. And you're like, I don't know if there's any cure for people being fucking horrible if they like, it's like a tree that grows. It's like, it just grew that way and you can't trace it back to the root and be like, all right, now be cool. So yeah, I don't know, but it does blow my mind that like Genghis Khan was like having that much sex and you're like, and you weren't a nice guy, like I'm so nice after like 69ing and like having like a nice piece of like yellowtail and like, you know, if my tummy's all right, maybe a glass of whiskey or something like that with some good music going on. Like, and like just hearing the notes of like a Willie Nelson guitar, like when he plays like a bridge to one of his songs, you're like, God, it's like angels singing and like you just came and your belly's full and everyone's happy. Maybe on a blue sky day. Maybe the weather's not good where these dictators are at. Is the weather bad in Turkmenistan?
It's pretty rough.
Is it all like cloudy all the time and they're just fucking like all bummed out?
Probably. I mean, the conditioning is huge. The Stanford prison experiment of the early 70s where they made kids.
Yeah.
You heard about that, right?
I remember vaguely. I'm thinking of the guy that was on the raft and he had those people that he tried to get them to all fight, but they ended up cooperating. But I don't think that was Stanford.
It's not that, but
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it's a different one.
It was this professor that had people, you know, act out like they were going to be in prison. And what's gnarly is he got these officers to participate. And they kind of took a little power trip, and so they kind of took it too far, and they were like abusing the kids, the students.
Oh, really?
And one of them was like trying to
beating them with batons or what?
Yeah,
hosing them down. Were you just talking? Was that the hosing thing, or were they coming all
Yeah, they
over?
hosing
He just went like
them.
this, and I was like,
He was
they got a hose. They're
splooging on
coming.
them. Yes. He's like, here you go,
They're
Jerry.
gambling. They're playing. They
Yeah,
got the
you
dice.
shut your mouth.
They're
you.
into D&D.
Yeah.
Dungeon Master says. What were they doing?
Well, so they would like hose them down. They would just treat them like dirt and treat them like they were criminals.
But this is in the 60s, though, right?
Like, yeah, early 70s.
That's when like you gave every cop like a hose. You're like, if there's a problem, just hit them with a fire hose. You know?
Yeah, literally beat the shit out of them. It'll be okay. My dad used to see that all the time as a kid. He said he saw cops just beat the shit out of people.
Dude.
And it's weird. It's weird. I mean,
That's how you keep a clean society, son.
yeah. But
God,
this
it's so
was
weird.
then, and you know, I'm not saying that it was like that all the time, but I just feel like there was a difference when people weren't like, there wasn't as much media or coverage of stuff like this, and these kids went along with it, but they were like, dude, these guys are kind of taking it too far. And they eventually one he was asking for homework. He's like, dude, if I'm going to be in this, it's supposed to be a couple days.
How long was this test?
It was just like 6 days. It was supposed to be 2 weeks.
Okay.
Lasted 6 days.
Okay.
The kids couldn't take it anymore because they were getting abused.
Yeah.
And one guy was like, look, if I'm going to be here for days, like, I have to study for an exam. Like, can I just do my homework? And the guard was like so like dorky, like theater
on
kid,
power trip or
like
what?
Daniel Day-Lewis about like being the hard ass.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't give it to him. And then he's like, and then he like he hit the kid, or he's playing all these mind games. And then this assistant of the professor came and bailed the kid out, and the warden made like everyone that was in there still talk shit to him, like, oh, that pussy could have taken you guys, you know. And so they did all these psychological things, and it was an example of conditioning and how what that does to people. And these dictators, they are masters at that. They know exactly how to get people to do things for them. And you know, it's unfortunate that like they don't have more sex and feel better about things, because people just get put through hell for all this stuff. And it's
such a weird part of the human condition. It's like one unlucky person becomes the dictator.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, it's like it doesn't seem like a cool position to even be in. I remember watching some video a long time ago about how the only thing you have to do to be a good dictator is have a way to stay in power. Like, you don't have to be good at running your country. Like, a lot of them have economic problems. They have all these issues. But the one thing that they're good at, it's almost like you know, like you mentioned, like being a great basketball player. They're like, they just have like this one skill, but everything else they don't, right?
Yeah.
Their one thing is being able to like retain power. But then like, it's not like a fun journey to be retaining power, because someone always wants to kill you. You're always upsetting people that like you can't trust anybody. And I was like, what a miserable fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, and then that only builds on itself. So like, it's like, is it our job in society to make sure that people don't become dictators? Like, to be like, hey, like, give people more hugs.
Yeah.
Or is it too late? Like, once you're a kid and you're born, like, was Hitler destined to be a dictator forever?
That's fascinating.
You know what I mean? Because he was a baby at one time. That, you know, like, you ever look at a baby and be like, you're gonna be a fucking fascist dictator.
Baby
Get
Hitler.
the fuck out of my face. No, you're just like, that's a baby.
Are they gonna make a prequel Netflix series, Baby Hitler?
Baby Hitler, baby Hitler instead of Baby Shark. That would be crazy if that would have been the big hit.
Oh man,
The sleeper hit, Baby Hitler.
dude. Yeah. Well, it is weird. I don't know if it's conditioning that makes them that. I mean, I think it is a little bit. But
All
then
right,
there's also mental illness and just being nuts and fucking wild. But yeah, so here's some more facts on these wild people and these dictators.
Let's do it.
So look, this is the history of Turkmenistan. In like late 19th century, Russia expanded into Central Asia, with Turkmenistan falling under that control. So it was like in the Soviet Union.
Okay, another place ran by super happy, friendly dudes.
Yeah, and so they did a lot of like economic exploitation. I mean, Soviet policies transformed Turkmenistan into like a cotton and gas supplier. That's why they're doing all this cotton shit to this day. And I guess
Wait, are we buying clothes made by fascist dictator people in Turkmenistan? Is that where you're leading us right now? Is you're going to tell us like, hey, the shirts we just got with our wonderful angel friend Angelo on it were probably from cotton made by people under a dictatorship? Because that is a lot of stuff you'll read about. You'll be like, why is it like this? You'll be like, oh, we're doing deals with this one group. And this group, you know what I mean? Like everything's a blood diamond when you get down to it. God, what a depressing episode.
Yeah, the child labor.
What a depressing episode. Everything's a blood diamond. On the next episode, our guest, Eddie Pepitone, will let you know about the new Subway footlong deals that are going on as the polarized caps are melting. No, seriously, though.
Yeah.
What's going on with this cotton situation? I know natural gas. They all have that natty gas.
Yeah.
Natty G, we call it in the industry.
Well, dude, I mean, Natty G is my favorite rapper and Christian comedian. But yeah, dude, I guess it's like a complete it's been so like disadvantaged with like poverty, and they just don't. It's just not the way they do things there. Like life is how like conditioning of living is way behind production. It's like basically a country of like laborers, it's like so fucked up. But what they do there is they have a dictator that's so self-obsessed that the national holiday is his autobiography. They read it it's like their Christmas. And they have statues of him everywhere.
That's like a North Korea thing where it's like our fair leader was born on this hill by an angel or whatever. Oh, dude.
Yeah, like Romulus and Remus.
That's
dude.
so dorky, dude.
Everybody has to celebrate it. It's the biggest holiday. Dude. Everyone's rejoicing. There's like people doing plays.
Okay, for Robert Thompson Day, what would it be like if you were the dictator? What would we do? Because I feel like we already said what I would do for my dictator. It'd be a bunch of orgies, it'd be a bunch of sushi, and Willie Nelson would play over those like loudspeakers that they have in Muslim countries.
Yeah, dude.
What would we do for you, dude?
For me?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man, bumper cars, fucking pizza, dude. We're going to have fun, dude.
You're such a 5-year-old.
Yeah, dude.
I love when I'm talking to you at like 10 or 11 at night, like after a spot when we're not together at night, dude, and I'm talking to you like driving, and like you're like, hey, could you hold on a second? Yeah, I'll have 5 sundaes and a brownie McFlurry. Like,
yeah,
I'll be like, dude, you're such a carnival kid, dude. So for your holiday, it makes perfect sense. You're like, we'll have pizza and bumper cars.
I mean, isn't that fun, dude? I mean, why not?
It is fun. I love that about you, dude.
Yeah, well, I wish that we could just go to like a beautiful scenic, like Big Bear or something, and we all just get the whole country comes together. And we just do, we watch old movies, and laugh and have popcorn days. I mean, I would have pizza on Fridays. I think if I was a dictator, I'd just be like running for school, like I sound like
superintendent kind of guy.
Yeah, or not superintendent, like class president or something.
Yeah,
so
dude.
It sounds like there'll be popcorn on Wednesdays, pizza day Fridays.
Oh, dude.
I mean, I would have all of us. Yeah, we'd watch like anime cartoons, and then there'd be a day where we can just like go swimming. I don't know, dude. Let's have fun. Life is short.
You sound like you'd be a good dictator. All right, here's my last question for Turkmenistan stuff. It's been this dude who's obsessed with his mom, clearly, right?
Yeah.
Has there been any female dictators? I feel like they'd be so good at it after being married for so long. How's there not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Oh man, where is it? There's a wife of one of the dictators that took over.
Oh, really?
Yes.
In Turkmenistan or another country?
Turkmenistan. And,
was she cool or was she just absolutely?
No, she was not cool. Yeah, she liked. Oh man, what is it?
Dude.
It's not like Pol Pot. It's not Vietnam. It's I think it's
Pepsi. Did Pepsi have a female dictator? No, that was CEO.
Is it the Uganda? No, there's a whole thing. The wives of dictators often they want, like a few of them want to become the dictator.
How come we don't hear about them?
That is.
Did they suppress the information? Do the women of America suppress it? Like,
no, one of them.
The future is female. Don't even let them talk about it.
Yeah, no.
The future is female.
Dude, well, Kamala's coming.
Lady Hitler.
Wait until Kamala's in office, man.
She doesn't seem like she'll be a dictator.
You hear what she does to I don't know. Everyone knows everything about all these presidential candidates immediately. Where I'm like,
I hear about it when I'm at a comedy show and someone has a riff on it. I'll be like, what did they say? Where did they get that from? And then someone will explain it to me.
Yeah, it was like I was working and trying to live. I don't remember, like, I just don't have time for like all the research on everything that they do.
You don't have time for research? What do you call this?
Well, all right. I have time for this. No, but I mean,
you did a great job, honestly.
Well,
I love seeing papers in your hand and like
yeah.
the writing's so small I can't see it from here, so I'm like really surprised.
Well,
excited.
it's fun to find these things out. And I just don't want to say, I don't know off the top of my head which, it might be an African country, and it's this woman that was.
It might be in Africa. I'm not really sure. I'm having to go research.
I will research it. Should I research right now, like Jamie?
I did some Googles on Africa. We should do our ad read right now while you're researching.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Our first sponsor is D. Kettleton and a Piece That Remains.
A piece that remains.
Piece That Remains. Lovely, man. It's great what she does, D. I mean, it's cool. She takes maybe personalized items that you can send to her of your deceased loved one, and she makes this just awesome homage and tribute. Beautiful.
You can look into the camera while you're and not the fucking monitor, Robert.
Well, I hope that I don't get murdered by this shark here for messing up the ad read. But D, I mean, guys, check out Piece That Remains. It's beautiful what she does. She organizes, personal items and belongings from your deceased loved ones.
She doesn't organize things, Robert. She takes ashes from your deceased loved ones and she puts them into art. She's our sponsor, Robert. You know what she does.
But I just wanted you to clarify. That's why I did that little runaround, because I want to make sure people know how cool it is. Do you think D organizes all the ash, though? I mean, that takes organization.
Thomas Zwick. Suck my Zwick! Wow, you were really with me on that one, you piece of shit.
I didn't know what was happening. I thought Jaws was... Look, Zwick glass, Thomas Zwick makes the most incredible pieces out of glass. I mean, dude, you could smoke a hookah.
What did you smoke before this fucking ad read, Robert?
Street crystal meth. Suck my Zwick.
And for our final sponsor.
Nothing strange nor cool about it.
There's a lot of strange things, actually. He's a very interesting man. Very hairy arms. Seems to be into women, but sometimes I think he's a big daddy bear.
People are cold strange when you're a
Cold strange.
When you're a cold stranger.
All right, Mendingo, let's rock and roll.
Well, you're inquiring about female dictators, and there was actually the Mad Queen of Madagascar in 1778 to 1861. There was a lady that walked this earth, Rana Valona.
How old was she? She lived to be 100?
She lived to be almost 100.
At that time in history, too?
Yeah.
Dang.
She almost lived to the Civil War, American Civil War. But yeah, she was like kind of left to be inherit the throne of Madagascar.
Was she cool?
But she was not.
No,
she
sir.
was not. Yeah.
Quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah. She had her husband's nephew stabbed with spears. She had her sister locked up, and her sister died of starvation. All the women of
Her
the royal
own sister?
Yes, all the women of the royal family were all murdered, except her, of course. She got rid of teachers, diplomats, traders.
Like all of them, or just particular ones she didn't like, you mean?
She got rid of ones that wanted to modernize the country. And I guess she, did a lot of shit to French troops. She expelled the Catholic missionaries and hanged 14 diehards who remained in the country. Others were executed at this cathedral. Yeah, she just was killing everybody. Very inspired by the medieval period, she had horrific methods of torture and execution developed.
That's a red flag right there. Very inspired by the medieval period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thrown into pots of boiling water or oil.
Oh my God.
She had them tied up and burned alive, buried alive, and all this while their families were forced to watch. So yeah, I guess this kind of reminds me of all the women I worked for in retail a little bit. Holy crap. That's the one thing. Ladies are tough, dude, as bosses. Dude. They lay the hammer down, dude.
No, totally. I've worked in a couple of spots where I was the only dude.
Oh, dude.
And it wasn't like one of those things where it's like I was the only dude just surrounded by women.
Do you feel like you're in like a femdom,
it was tough. I'll just put it that way. It was tough.
Dude, I
no offense if you have a vagina and you're watching it. I'm not saying you're bad, but it was tough being the only guy.
I mean, look, to be fair, there's been thousands of years of women that were treated awful. I don't blame her for just going off. Like, hey, fuck it. You know, like the women are treated
You don't get a pass to be a dictator.
John, people should be boiled alive if you've had a bad life. No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
If you're pissed, you should have the ability to burn people alive. It's crazy.
Dude.
Do you think like when VR gets better and better, like people will just choose being a dictator when they're angry? Like that'll be their therapy. Like go in there, be a Hitler for an hour, come out and feel refreshed.
Well, now there's the drone that'll come blow up your house if you try to be like really like who knows what we can do. I was thinking about
who knows what we can do.
Well, no, just getting old. I was back in the day, like
you're not old. You're like 24, dude.
I wish, bro, but
we're just a couple of young dudes in tie-dye shirts, man. Get it through your head. We're not old.
I know. Well, I was thinking about it. Like, used to be like, man, I worked so long. Like, now I can retire off, this farm I built. But now it's like literally the only thing we're all going to be is just like managers at an Amazon warehouse.
I don't think so. I think by the time that we're old, like retire age, and no offense if you're old and retiring, we're not making fun of you. But by the time we're at that age, I mean, dude, like most likely technology and AI is going to be so good that it'll be much more common that people are unemployed. So there'll be better safety nets. I don't think it's going to be... I don't think it's gonna be a dystopic future, and I also don't think it's gonna be utopian. But I think it's like
gonna be fruitopian.
I think fruitopian,
more Fruitopia.
That sounds so familiar. What is that? I remember Zootopia, which is a freaking awesome movie. Have you seen Zootopia?
Yes, the bestiality film, real A+. I think
no,
Queen Ranavilla loved it too.
This was screened at El Capitan. It was not a bestiality movie.
No, the Zootopia was great.
What's Fruitopia?
Fruitopia was like a Crystal Light type drink.
Oh, it was
like
a drink?
Fruit drink. Yeah, in the 90s and early 2000s.
Okay, I don't know.
The Fruitopian Society.
The 90s was
that's my dictatorship, Fruitopia, dude.
But dude, I think by the time we're at that retirement age, I don't think we'll be working.
Well,
don't.
I just wanted to say that like women are people too, and they can be bad too. I mean, who'd have thought?
Message to listen. If we have young female listeners, for them to be like, yes, girl, anybody can get out there and be a dictator, even you. Like, what a weird thing to leave them with, Robert.
That's all I'm saying, bro, is that they can be dictators too, and I love them.
You just pulled out another paper, Professor. What's happening?
Well, look, I think we've talked enough about the female dictator, the body of the female dictator explorers.
Getting pretty sexual.
I know, dude. No, well,
this is how you can tell we're coming to the end of the episode. You're getting hornier and hornier. Well, I have to go, John. I have to go to work.
Well, right now we're
before work. Do you ever do a fap and a nap? Is that what you're trying to do before you go?
No, I don't have time.
After this episode,
I wish.
a couple of our listeners are gonna have a fap and a nap after this episode.
Well, because we're about to talk about the sex lives of these dictators.
Are you serious?
Oh
shit.
Yeah, dude. Well, Genghis Khan unified Mongol tribes, and he led bloody conquests. With mass.
He went on bloody conquest.
Yeah, him and the Sacs, they were wicked horny over there.
I guess he had sex with thousands of women, and so it says that 8% of the population has his DNA.
8%.
Yeah, of Genghis Dong.
Because I always think like we all like there's like post traumatic stress disorder or whatever, isn't it? Was it Gabor Mate? He was talking about like the human race having PTSD, and I was like, it's perfect. It makes perfect sense. Like if you think back to us being like intelligent apes, like what we went through, right?
Yeah.
Even that far back before linguistics were developed, people were probably like just if you're smart enough to see how fucking brutal the animal kingdom is, you see chimpanzees ripping each other's dicks off, then it had to have been tough. So then you already have some sort of weird toughness that you develop. Like it's almost like you evolve to be like ornery, territorial, tribal, like, anger carrying creatures, right? And then you get even into history, into like the Genghis Khan era, and you're like, if 8%, if like, let's say, what is that? Almost 1 in 10 people have that guy's DNA. That means there was that much raping and pillaging through history.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's like it's obvious that we're all fucking weird and fucked up from like post-traumatic stress disorder from a long time ago. Even if it's not even like from a spiritual sense, when people say like your cells have a memory, but just knowing like we were like raised generation after generation by people that have been through gnarly trauma, dude. If that's the case, then I'm like, we're doing pretty good then. And if that's the case, right? Because we still, as a species, cooperate pretty well for the most part and are pretty nice and friendly.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you're right.
I'm just trying to put a positive spin on this.
Well,
not trying to be toxic.
Well, positively, 16 million men alive in 2003 did that Genghis Khan DNA, and they all had his DNA. 16 million people that did it. 8% of men. That's in the region of the Mongol Empire, and there are about 200 worldwide that share one single male ancestor. It's wild, man. They say that like Obama, George Bush, and a lot of the U.S. presidents are related to William the Conqueror, who was related to Rollo, who founded Normandy, the Viking Normand guy. It's weird because Europe was smaller then, so we're all related to those people. It's so strange when you think about it.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, but yeah, like we're all related to these famous... I know that I might be related to Sir Francis Drake, I guess, somewhere.
Oh, that's cool.
The rapper.
I was just going to say, who's Francis Drake, though?
He was kind of a cunt, I think. He was a pirate. He worked for the... Like when there was like all the Spanish Armada stuff, like England and Spain were like kind of beefing it out on their empires.
Yeah.
Like, so he was like, I think, involved in that for the English. But yeah.
Thanks for educating us.
Very
now we
fun.
all know. That was
jumbled
word salad of shit. Well, like, who was he? I don't know. He was like he was kind of not nice, and he was in England in the old days and conquers and stuff.
Yeah, Chat GPT human form is what I'm doing. Actually, they're probably more efficient.
Do you think there's got to be pockets that don't have certain genetics in it though? Because like Jews, like we're all inbred, so it's like there's a lot of time when we actually like kind of stayed isolated,
Yeah, I mean, Japan had years of like isolation.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
it worked out well though. They got great food. The people are happy, right? Aren't Japanese people statistically happier than the rest of the world?
That's it. I don't know. I don't know what the percentage.
I made that up just now.
I mean, they seem happy.
They seem happy, and that's for me. That's a fact. Then
they seem fappy, dude. Would you go to Japan if you could?
I'm trying to keep this on the rails of teaching history here, Robert. This is a serious podcast. People look to us for education, and yeah, I would go to Japan. Are you kidding me? In a second.
Well,
Kamel went to Japan and was like, "You would love it here," and I was like, "I would."
Well, you know what Japanese people do have?
What?
Mongolian, probably DNA.
Oh,
also.
yeah.
Because Genghis Dong, dude, he got around.
You got to Japan?
Well, Korean people do. I'm sure Japanese people do too.
It's way to generalize, Robert.
Well, no, okay.
Do you think Peru is in Mexico, buddy?
No, but I'm saying it's just like Spaniards touched like all of South America. It's just the same as like his empire touched.
That's all you had to do in the old days.
Yeah.
You either stayed on the farm or you're like, I'm going to hop on a ship and risk everything because, like, what else is there? There was no air conditioning invented by then.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck it. What if I die? My best friend's a horse. Who cares?
No one really like crazy shit happened, and then air conditioning came about. And it
that's what I'm saying.
Stopped crazy shit. But
air conditioning and dipping sauce, and then that's it. The rest is history. Seriously.
That was a great summary of just all the brutality of history has been solved with air conditioning and dipping sauce. I think you're right. I think it brought some civility for the most part. I mean, we are in war.
And then we just have I was just gonna say, you could end the episode on that, and then a montage of like war videos or something like that, of like missiles being launched out of things, and like people like carrying like dead bodies out of rubble or whatever. And you're like, we're civil now. Well, I think statistically though, I think numerically we are considered very civil compared to all that stuff. Like the way that we fight wars, what happens now, the amount of sacrifice that our leaders use us for, like it's so much different now than it ever was throughout history. From what I read, but
it's pretty good. Yeah, if you're picking cotton in Turkmenistan, it's not as bad as it was.
You can't tell someone living under a dictatorship like the world is a much nicer place now, and it's only getting nicer. Now go inside and worship the poster that you have in your house, or you'll all be beheaded.
Dude.
Yeah, I was excited to show you this.
Oh,
I got a shirt with
my
cream pie
God.
on it. I guess
Oh, my Lord.
didn't that sound kind of weird? I got a shirt with cream pie on it.
Yes.
No, I haven't
dude,
fucked in this shirt, but
That
dude,
is so rad.
yeah, dude, isn't it cool?
Yes.
For freaking, it's like the test run. Remember I was telling you we were getting like a test run? So it's like, it's not silkscreen, it's some sort of like vinyl thing that they did on it. Dude, it's so fun.
That's awesome.
We can still customize it and do it like with our color, like our palette that we already have. But this was like from when we first started, like just kind of throwing the designs out there. I thought it was pretty funny.
Dude, actually, here, let's...
Oh
my
we
God.
each got one. There's only 2 printed of these, and we're never doing any more of these awful color tones anyway. So, dude,
I love it, dude. It's so cool.
Put it on. Put it on the
my
camera. Let
gosh.
everyone see your fucking titties.